All right, who's excited to learn what the top 1% are doing differently? I know I am. We're going to cover 4 superstar skills of the top 1% in the next 7 minutes. The first skill of the top 1% is time management mastery. They all are incredibly effective with managing their time. They all have a very specific schedule that they adhere to. They don't just expect to succeed, they schedule their success and they make it happen. To get an idea of how this works, try to schedule just one extra move this week at a specific time. The number one excuse is, I don't have time. The average American spends 38 minutes a day on Facebook, yet 99% can't even find 5 minutes in their week. That's why the number one superstar skill is time management. Learning this skill can start a snowball effect. So that's skill number one. Skill number two is effectiveness. The top 1% know how to make their time and money count. This comes down to knowing how much to risk and when. The top 1% don't run out of money or spread too thin. They aren't trying to do 100 things at once. They're strategically concentrating their efforts on a few key things. And the top 1% are consistent about time and money spent. So that's skill number two, effectiveness. And skill number three is money management. They manage position risks by best and worst case scenarios. And an example of this is the golden rule in investing. And it's to have a risk reward ratio of 2 to 1. And if I were to graphically depict this, it would look something like what you see on your screen here, is if you're going to risk 5%, you should be expecting a 10% return. And if you were risking 10%, you'd be expecting a 20% return if you were following this golden rule. Okay, so that's money management. And the last is position selection. The top 1% can easily select the best performers. They have a strategy to efficiently find the best performers consistently. You can schedule 12 hours of work a day, know exactly the right amount to risk and when, and have the best money management strategy. But if you don't know what to buy and sell, you'll never be top 1%. This is one of the hardest skills to acquire, but it can pay off dividends for the rest of your life. If you're interested, we can help you consistently find the best performers. Let me just explain why this strategy works so well. It works because it's based on market science, statistics, and probabilities. We taught this to Brian, and Brian said this had a direct positive influence on me and my finances. Imagine that feeling of knowing you have a top 1% strategy. Once you have an excellent strategy, you can confidently choose the best positions, analyze your risk, select a management style, and schedule it all. Imagine creating your own work schedule. This is the ultimate high-value skill that can transform your life. And it can give you peace of mind. Michelle said it inspired her to look beyond her everyday abilities to cultivate awareness and understanding. And I've spoken with Michelle on several occasions, and she definitely has top 1% potential. This strategy has the lowest startup costs of any business. There's no down payments, no loans, no employees, or storefront. It's in a forever industry. There will always be a market for the top 1%. There's no better time to learn what the top 1% are doing differently. We were able to teach this to Hector, and Hector said it enhanced his trading significantly. I've spoken with Hector on several occasions, and he's used it while trading commodities, okay? So this isn't just specific to one industry. These skills will help you in all areas of your life. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a proven strategy that works for all people in all industries. Because you stayed this far, we want to share with you some preliminary market data from an ongoing case study. These numbers have not been independently audited. However, you'll soon see how you can all audit them right now. These are results from only our best strategy and not all inclusive of results of the entire company. We are not making any guarantees about this strategy. We're merely presenting our findings as if this were a scientific experiment. Our theory was that with one extra move a week, you can significantly outperform, like the top 1% do consistently. The null hypothesis is that one move per week cannot cause significant outperformance. So this is what we were trying to disprove. Here are the results of our case study, and these are preliminary results. This case study is ongoing, as I mentioned. However, this was just one trade per week. So we've opened 24 positions and closed 23 of them. And here are the statistics. So it was a win to loss ratio of 65.2%, meaning that about 65% of the trades were wins. And the average hold time was 10.8 days, and our risk to reward ratio was 1.65 to 1. And we were aiming for the 2 to 1, the golden ratio. However, in actuality, things are different. So this is from one trade a week, and it's gotten us a return on investment of 75.9% year to date. And as I mentioned, you can audit these alerts right here. We have the entrance prices, the exit prices, the positions, the average time held, the average gain, and the average loss, so you can calculate your risk to reward ratio, okay? So the simplicity and ease of this strategy has some of our clients calling it the best strategy on Wall Street. We named it TIPS Optimum Strategy. TIPS Optimum Strategy is a strategy that's incorporated the 4 superstar skills. The idea was to see how little we could do and still achieve top 1% results. Here is a comparison of our optimum strategy to the S&P 500. So you always want to compare your performance to a baseline, and our baseline in this case is the S&P 500. That's a good overall representation of the market. So both of these lines represent the growth of $100,000, and the blue line is in our optimum strategy, and the orange line is the S&P 500. So in just 6 months, the difference with an initial amount of $100,000 is $80,000, and that's in less than 6 months. So these numbers are from one trade a week and 5 minutes of work. If you multiply 5 minutes by 24 weeks, you'll get 120 minutes, which equals 2 hours, right? Because there's 60 minutes in an hour. So some quick math, if the difference was 80,000 and you worked for 2 hours, that's $40,000 an hour, okay? Now, of course, your initial starting amount matters a lot. This is just from 100,000. So how would you like to work for 5 hours a year and make $200,000? It sounds good to everyone until I say, okay, let's start this Friday. Most people are afraid of change. If you want to become a superstar, listen carefully. You must embrace change. You have to take action even if it's only 5 minutes. And it needs to be with enough money that it moves the needle. And you need to know what to do when things fall apart. You can't just expect something to happen to you. You need to make it happen. Even if it's something as small as one move a week that takes 5 minutes. If you're ready for a change into top 1% superstardom, book a call on this page. This one call can help you realize major breakthroughs. If you had epiphanies in this presentation, imagine the breakthroughs you'll have on a call with us. If you want better sleep, more passive income, and a more stress-free life, book a call on this page. We've optimized the 4 skills for you to effectively leverage your time and money. This strategy is so easy and simple, a 5th grader can learn it. And as we said, it can be done in as little as 5 minutes a week. Once you master this, no one can take it from you, and you'll always have it. There's no better time to learn this. Don't let another week of average returns slip by. Every day you don't do this is costing you. So it's time to schedule your success now. Don't wait on this. We'll discuss how everything works on the call. I look forward to speaking with you. Book the strategy session now. Goodbye.